Hi, I'm Scott Garvey, machinery editor at Grain News Magazine, and I'm here with JJ, who's a product manager for the Can-Am line of Defenders. And we're in Texas today to take a look at what's new with the Defender line. And JJ, for 2020, there's a lot new.
Oh, 2020 is definitely a big year. So we did a refresh on the Defender back in June, so lots of changes there. But we also launched 3 new models. A Defender Limited with HVAC, so we now have air conditioning as many people were asking for it. But today we have these 2 new vehicles with us, so a new Defender 6x6 and a new Defender Pro.
And the Pro and the 6x6 both have something the model year 19 Defender didn't have, and that is a 6-foot long bed.
Exactly, so that new bed is double the length of what we had on the regular Defender. We've had lots of demand to have a bed that was able to put more capacity in it, so that's why we developed these 2 products. They're actually very close together, but for very 2 different usages. When you look at the Defender 6x6, what we did is, so we start from a 3-up vehicle and we added a block with the 3rd axle on the vehicle. This gives us enough space to put a long box on it. And really what we did in model year 20 is we did a power and a torque increase on the HD10 engine. So one of the reasons for this was to support the extra traction that you have on the 6.6. And why focus on torque? It's industry leading from torque perspective, because when you're working, it's not about horsepower, it's really torque. When you're thinking low speed pulling and fully loaded, to be able to get you where you need to get.
So 2 axles underneath this model.
Yes.
But 1 underneath this, although fairly similar chassis, right?
Yeah, it's similar total length. One starts from the 3-up version. We add a block on it. The other one is a max frame, so the engine is farther on it. So it's really 2 different usages. If someone is going to go in a really rocky terrain with like very hilly and they need the extra traction, hunters like to use 6x6 vehicles. We also have the Outlander 6x6 that does well with hunters, so we studied similar markets. And when we call people and ask them what they'd like to improve on the Outlander 6x6, they were telling us we'd like to have a Defender 6x6. So that's one of the things that sparked the idea. So if you need to get to a really tough to go spot, 6.6 is the ideal vehicle for you. Both have the same box. Now, if you're someone that wants to work on a big piece of land, a property where having that extra traction is not necessarily a priority, then the Pro is a perfect vehicle for you. And really, when you look at it, the Pro, what it offers, so it has a longer wheelbase than a regular 4x4 vehicle. So that longer wheelbase, from a comfort perspective, it does a huge difference to it. But what that allowed us, having that longer wheelbase, is that we added the lower storage that's right here. So the lower storage is pass-through. So if people are working with a toolbox or a chainsaw or whatever they need to bring, they can fit it down there, access it from both sides. It'll be protected from water or mud or anything. And then they can put whatever they need to get the job done directly in the box. So what's cool with the 6-foot box is if you have like 8 or 10 foot material, we're thinking about fence posts, maybe logs or just anything else, it'll fit right in the box and it won't fall over as you're riding with it.
Now this box has also got removable sides, right?
Yeah, when we talk to people to know the type of box that they really like, one of the features that came out is people like to have a box that they can do a flatbed with. So what our design team did is, so we developed a removable side. So they put some really nice metal buckles on it so that you get it like a premium strength when you're riding with the vehicle that's fully loaded with pressure on the sides. But then what you do is you can remove these sides very easily. You have 2 bolts you remove, takes just a couple seconds, and then you just slide this off, and then you can remove that and convert it really easy into a flatbed. And at that point, you can just do whatever you need to do. You can also remove the tailgate easily. You do what you need to do with it, and then it just takes another 2-3 minutes to put it back on.
If you leave the tailgate down, then you've got almost a 7-foot bed here.
Exactly. So if you need to transport 12-foot material, I mean, they're going to be sticking out, but you're still over that half point to be able to keep it in. We also have more anchor points, and then we included all the same features as you'd get with the regular Defender. So if you want to put 1x3s for extra storage with the sidewalls that you want to make of wood. If you want to put 2x4s to do separators, there's lots of features that were included in it. It's with Can-Am for us, a practicality And if you need to get a job done, it's about those small details that make the job even more fun to do.
So just to finish up, you were talking about if you need traction, then this is your machine over here.
Exactly.
The six-wheel drive. If you just need to get a job done, you've got the same size chassis. Do we have same carrying capacities?
So carrying capacity is the same thing. In the segment that these vehicles are, because of regulations, we need to limit the weight of the box to 1,000 pounds. But what happens is that the vehicles were tested for much more than 1,000 pounds. So on specs, people will see 1,000 pounds just like the regular Defender. This allows us to have more horsepower, more torque than if we went above 1,000 in the specs. From a towing capacity, the 6.6 is able to tow up to 3,000 pounds, where the Pro is able to do 2,500 pounds, just like our Max or 3-up vehicles.
And a little bit quieter engine as well, right?
That's a very good point that you're mentioning. So the fact that the engine is 3 feet at the rear, this is probably the quietest open cab vehicle that we have.
And that was noticeable on the trail this morning.
I'm sure you noticed the difference.
Because we've tested older Defenders as well. Thank you, JJ. Appreciate your time.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for coming to Texas.
Thank you. And thanks for watching.